Okay, one of the next things to do is to build the framework for the countertops. So that'll go in here, and you can see I bought a battery, and so the battery will go in this corner, and the power center will be over here, and then there'll be just a framework, and then countertops that sit on top that can flip up and let you store stuff inside. So let me show you what I've built. So this is the framework for the countertops. You can see I just used pocket hole joinery, and so here's the finished side. I'm still going to sand it, and I'll put some varnish on it. I may varnish it once I get it in there, but I want to sand it down, make sure that all these joints are good. But so this is where the power center will be. There's one of the hatches for storage. There's another one for storage. You'll also notice that I used pocket hole, drilled some pocket holes. This is just to attach it to the side of the teardrop. So in these corners, these strange looking ones, one goes this way and one goes that way. And so this will attach it to the existing structure of the teardrop. Okay, one of the things that I need to do is make a wiring chase, or kind of a wire mold. And you can see where the wires come through the back here, and they'll run down along here, and then down into the bottom cabinet, and that's where all of the power stuff is. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this, I think, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to take some of this 2x pine that I have. I'm going to run that in there, and you can see here where I've made some pencil marks. I'm just going to cut this out, so that's my wiring run right there. There'll be some screws that go through here and through there to attach it to the wall. So then I'll have another one that goes here. I'm hoping I'll round that corner, and I'll do the same thing in the back. But that's the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and first of all pre-drill the holes for the screws, and then I will set up the table saw and cut out that void here, which the wires will run through. Okay, I've gone ahead and put a countersink in them as well. So now it's over to the table saw. Okay, so here's the piece all sawed out, and let's go see what it looks like in the teardrop. So this will slide back in here like that, and you can see, so there's my chase for where my wires will come through. So I'll make another piece here and another piece that goes up in there in the back, and I'll probably glue them all together or attach them together before I install it. You can see here I've got a little bow in this wall, so it's not sitting flat, so I'm going to have to scribe this and adjust that in there so it lays flat. But I'll do that with some sandpaper and probably a little hand plane. So here's the that wire mold that I made. And so this is, you know, there will be another piece that goes right here, okay? And I want to curve the top here, but I need to have the cavity so I can run the wires through it. So what I did is I took a piece here, and I cut cut it like I did this one. However, at this point I didn't cut it all the way through, and I just used a chisel to chisel out this top part to leave that cavity. And then what I'm going to do is take it over to the bandsaw, and you can see I put a curve here. I'm just going to cut that curve out, and then I'm going to smooth that out, and hopefully that'll give me a nice curve as it rolls around like that. gives me a rough shape to work with, and the rest of it I'm going to do with sandpaper. Once I get that glued up, then I'll just sand a little bit more there. I'm going to have to trim this off a little bit, but that's not too bad. So I think that'll look fine. So it finally warmed up enough that I was able to finish putting the polyacrylic on the countertop frame. So here it is, all varnished up, and you can see down here at the bottom, I built a little box that extends down from this one end. And what this is this is for where the power station will be, the power converter. And I made a little insert here that'll drop in, and the power converter lays in here like that. And so now let me go see if I can get this thing installed. Okay, let's put the countertop in, and you can see here that I've cut a notch here in the corner, and that is so that my wires can drop down into the inside of the cabinet. So this will probably be a pretty tight fit. Okay. And go there. Cover that. That's perfect. So I think that's exactly the way I want it. Pretty tight fit. So what I will do is just temporarily prop it up, and then put all of the Craig screws up into all those holes that I drilled previously. So some of you may be wondering why I didn't finish building out this tail section when I put this on. Now you see why. It's because otherwise getting under here to get all of these screws done and to get the stuff I'm going to build in here would be really difficult if I already had this tail section on here. So that's why I did it. I'm glad that I thought of it, because I almost built it out. Okay, so now that we've got the cabinet in, you can see here's the place for the power converter. And that drops down in there like that. And then the power converter with all of its wires and everything. So that's how that should work, and then there'll be a countertop that sits on top of it. Now I'm doing the wiring termination. So this is underneath the cabinet. And you can see what I've done is I've put some terminal strips here, a terminal strip and then a ground strip. And I've put ring terminals on the end of all of the wires that are coming from the cabin. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and hook those up, and then I'll show you the rest part with the converter. Okay, here's everything attached. It's not the neatest wiring job I've ever done, but it'll work for right now. So here's the back of the power converter. So this big thick wire is what will go to the inlet from the street power, and this right here will go to all my outlets in the Teardrop. Here are all my DC wires. These are for the 3 main circuits. This one right here goes to the battery. I've put a battery disconnect switch in here. So then this lug will go to the plus on the battery, and this white wire goes to one of the lugs on that ground bar. Alright, I've got the converter installed, and so you can see how wires come out of the back converter. Circuit 1, Circuit 2, Circuit 3, and then Circuit 4 actually goes to the battery. And so these are then the wires that go out to the Teardrop, and these are all the ground wires, and this is where it all links them all together. Now, this wire right here will go to the plus side of the battery, and then there'll be another wire that goes from here to the minus side of the battery, and that goes to the cutoff switch, which is there. You can see it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the battery into place, and then get an idea of how long I need those battery hookup wires to be. So I'll go ahead and do that. You can see what I've done here is I put some cleats down. That will hold the battery, keep it from sliding around, and then I have a battery strap as well, and so that will hold the battery down. So let me go ahead and slide that back in there. This right here will fasten down here in the front, hold the battery in, and I'll hold the battery in like that. Reposition this buckle like that. So just figure out how much wire I'm going to need to hook these up, and I'll put the ends on them and I'll hook it up. Okay, so everything is hooked up. You can see everything's hooked up. Battery's hooked up. Everything's tightened down. So let's go ahead and put some fuses in. So, okay, circuits 1 and 2 are lights. So I'm going to put 5 amps in each one. And circuits 3 and 4 are for the DC outlets, and they're a maximum of 20 amps. So we'll go ahead and put 20 in those. And actually, circuit 4 is for charging the battery as well. And then this is a reverse protection circuit, which it came with. So the next thing to do is put the key in and turn it on. And my converter just came on. So let's just see what we got inside. I should have light. I do. So there's my reading lights. And let's see if we got a porch light. Yep. So porch lights come on. That's with my switch here. Excellent. So that's what I was looking for, and I'm happy, and I think I'm done for the day.